Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Thursday, the 26th of August, comes to you from London. And quite a lot of red on the screen this morning, so let's take a look at markets. We start by looking at the dollar index. This is my weekly, daily, and 60-minute chart, long-term, medium-term, and short-term view of the market with the corresponding point and figure targets. And these charts track as I move down the list. So we see here the dollar is up a little bit this morning, still just short-term bearish below the cloud. Remembering, if we're below the cloud, we're bearish. If we're above the cloud, we're bullish. And we are just hitting that resistance that we saw back in April, May. But it looks like we will ultimately make a higher high. That means the euro is a little bit stronger this morning and still holding on to that short-term trend, even though medium-term we are bearish. Against the Japanese yen, the dollar is above the 110 level. This is normally a lead indicator for the dollar, so the fact that we will go higher here suggests that we will against the other currencies as well. Sterling sitting at 137, just static against that slightly weaker dollar, but still medium-term bearish, of course, and just rolling over a little bit, so we may not reach this 150 target that's been in place for a while. Against the euro, sterling sitting near the 117 level, again pretty flat the last few months there. Bitcoin sitting at $46,800, back to short-term bearish territory, having had a good week last week. We see the weekly candles there, but we are still medium-term bullish, and we do have these big upside targets to 83,000 to play for. The S&P 500 index edged higher yesterday, and we're seeing the futures this morning down very slightly, so flat opening for the market based on the futures at the moment, and the VIX volatility sitting steady at 17. So the fear index is bearish on all three time frames, meaning the markets are not that fearful. The FTSE futures down 0.2% this morning. The DAX in Germany down just over 0.25%, the same with the CAC 40. So we are seeing most markets lower. The Hang Seng down 1%. And the Shanghai index down 1% as well. So just struggling here on Asian stocks. The Sensex in India flat, little change. Still have this very big upside target there on the long-term chart. The Aussie market was down 0.5%. We'll take a look at the energy mix in a minute. Looking at soft commodities, sugar is down 0.25%. Wheat is up 1%. Still got very good long upside targets here. Breaking that high that we saw back in April is key there for wheat, and we need to see this short-term chart turn bullish. Gold is sitting at 1784, back to short-term bearish territory. Silver, having had a torrid month in July, is also just weaker there as well, and platinum lower too. Palladium has had a pretty tough week of it, down 1%. So last week's slide, we're seeing that sort of 50% recovery, so it's not really recovering from that big fall that we saw there. US 10-year yields up quite sharply, sitting at 135, so 1.35% on the yield. That's looking stronger, and we make a new high above this level that we saw in early August, and we activate an upside target to 175, so that will be interesting to watch. Looking at the energy mix now, a lot of red on the screen this morning. Brent crude is down to 71.50, so we've got this lower high, lower low scenario just still playing out. And even though we're short-term bullish, this is the 60-minute chart, there are a shortage of targets really to the upside there. Taking a look at natural gas, we've got we're at $3.90 in the US, and so that's looking relatively strong. Coal is down this morning, sitting at 105, still in its bull trend there. There is a risk here of a lower high, lower low scenario. We just need to watch that on coal. And emissions in Europe are still sitting fairly flat, back into short-term bearish territory. Taking a look at gas markets, European gas, this is UK natural gas, heading lower this morning. Downside targets there to play for. Keep an eye on your OTC targets. TTF, much the same picture, lots of downside targets, so that's playing out. And taking a look at LNG prices, interesting that we've failed to make a new high there in Asia. So Asian gas starting to be a big driver for gas markets globally. German power is down 0.6%, and we do have a downside target. Keep an eye on your OTC prices. Hitting cloud resistance here, looking like we'll go lower. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.